the HeartThread practice. So this is an excerpt from John Henry. When you take that breath and recognize you will be there in the perfect moment, you shift your consciousness into a different kind of reality that is aligned much more with the heart. He's talking about rush and urgency. You become more and more conversant with the ways in which the heart operates within your consciousness and within the interconnectedness. Thus, when you have a feeling that Auntie May is about to call you, and there she is on your screen, these kinds of things become second nature to your life. You begin to live your life with the ease and grace we were talking of. You understand that miracle, magic, abundance, a sense of ease, peace, and stillness can always be there for you in every moment, no matter what is going on. Accessing the heart is the way to go to that space. It is right there within your very center. All it requires is to put your right hand on your heart and your left hand on your right. As you take a deep breath, you shift the location of your consciousness from the head, from the mind to the heart, and that breath shifts everything. You can let go of that burden that is sitting on your shoulders, that you have carried ever since you were a little pipsqueak, ever since it was laid upon you that you are responsible for your parents and all their trials and tribulations, and you had to carry it throughout your life. What a burden to place upon your children, or for your ancestors, to require of you to perform rituals of things that are not for the benefit of anyone, because it has been told that they must do so. There are many, many aspects of your reality that are going to come up for scrutiny, because at this time especially, the challenges that arise, be they family or financial or health or relationship, are going to present to you the demons that you are now getting ready to meet face to face as the spiritual warrior. You are the warriors of the heart, not the worriers with an O of concern. In fact, we have stated this, and we will write this out for you at another time. See below after the closing meditation. But once upon a time, it was shared by me that the greatest thing I would like you to eliminate from your belief system and from your thought process is worry, the energy of concern. If there's anything that we could say it is important to eliminate, it is worry. It is placing your energy on areas that you do not wish to experience, which is another way of saying worry or fear. If your energy is focused on the things you do not want to have in your life, you are creating them through that focus. It is important to let go of that kind of energy and replace it with only benevolence, with only positive thinking. This can be done through the process of affirmation, of being in a state of meditation, in alpha or theta brain rhythms. When you are in a state of heightened receptivity, you say to yourself aloud statements of what you do want, framed positively, and do not refer to anything you do not want, not even to negate them. This can be done through HeartThread, where you are replacing the old stories, patterns, and negative imprints with new alternative thinking that supports benevolence and nurturing and is conducive to your thriving. It is important to understand that the nature of the ways in which you constantly are programming yourself, it is said there are perhaps like 60,000 thoughts that run through a person's mind in a day. And that's something like 90 or more percent are negative. The programming to think negatively has been imprinted in you through generations and generations of indoctrination throughout all of your lifetimes. It is also so with this life. Most of these imprints are imbued into your system from a very early age, even before you came out into the world with your first breath. You were experiencing the thought forms and the emotions of your mother when you were in the womb, and from your father and your siblings and others around you. These negative beliefs were also imprinted into the consciousness structure you inherited later on when you began to access consciousness in a more aware way. For the first 7 years, almost every single belief that you have was programmed into you as a sponge that had no ability to discern. Your critical thinking only began to develop after your 7th year. In some ways, it seems like you are fighting a losing battle. But because you are warriors of spirit, because you are ambassadors of the heart, you have agreed, whether through your contracts or through your presence here, you have agreed to carry the light within the surrounding darkness. You have agreed to fight your demons within you, and where possible, without. You are, and you have agreed to become a one who carries the sword of truth and is willing to use it as a warrior of the heart in a loving and compassionate and non-judgmental way. The foundation of almost every single negative thought is separation consciousness, polarity thinking. It is a projection of a me versus them, us versus them mentality. It's the judgment of an other. The work you are here to do is the letting go of these ways of seeing things through the eyes of duality, of separation. It requires recognizing that oneness may be a truth for you in your mind, but it has not percolated its way into your subconscious awareness. It is necessary to reprogram your subconscious mind so you move beyond the perception of reality as based on separation. Once you transcend the dualistic ways of seeing and thinking, you recognize that beneath the apparent conscious surface, everything is interconnected. The understandings that are derived from quantum physics have utilized scalar waves and Tesla-type inventions to create technologies that can achieve the most remarkable results. Many of these technologies have been with you for eons, for many years. However, from the earliest days of the 20s and 50s of this century, or the previous one, they were used in secret, not for the benefit of the people. Brilliant inventors were eliminated, and their discoveries were usurped. In many cases, evidence of these inventions was destroyed because it posed a threat to the financial interests of those in power who control the resources and technologies. Much of this is available to you today because it became commercialized, feeding the bottom line, the mighty dollar or yen or whatever. We would like to focus on what it requires of you to live with your heart open. What does it take to live and move into the heart from the head? Essentially, all the words are nice, and they're all nice admonishments, and they're all great ideas. But if they remain in the mind, in the head, they do not shift your reality. So it is important to recognize that the shift of focus, of location, is a major first step of going to the heart by putting your hands, whether it is actual or in your imagination, upon your heart. By shifting your focus and attention to your heart, you immediately invoke a space of connection with the energy of your higher self and the wisdom that dwells within your heart. There is an innate connection between all humans that we call the heart thread. And when you go into the heart, you have that ability to connect with others. You also can do it through the connection with the soul seed, just below your heart, in that space where the ribs come together. There behind the xiphoid process, right over here. When you go into the heart, you can communicate with the soul of somebody with whom you are having difficulty. The best way to access the heart is to focus there with a deep breath. Please join me now in taking a deep breath. In and out. You will immediately notice that the whole system relaxes. Somehow a little bit of that stress, of that weight on the shoulders, tension, relaxes. There's an influx of stillness. There is also an experience of your diaphragm moving outwards and back in, of your chest rising, a sensation of your physical body, so that through the focus of the breath, you are connected with your physical form. When you combine this with connecting to Mother Earth through your feet or your seat, you are becoming fully present. Thank you. That's John Henry.